What's up, nail crew? It's Nicole, your fellow nail obsessed DIYer, and today we are going to do a super fun mani with a funny story attached. I've been loving milky nails, and I did one like maybe a couple months ago with like flowers and everything, and when my nails were a little bit shorter, and I thought, you know what? Why can't I do milky nails for everything? I want to do milky Halloween nails and put, instead of flowers, I want to put like bats and stuff in my milky nails. I decided that's what I was going to do. This ends up being one of my favorite manis I've ever done. I have pink builder gel underneath. It's a baby pink from OG Dip powder, and it ends up being the base like of my middle two nails, which is where I do the milky nail, and I end up doing a PEEKABOO as well. I wasn't planning at first on doing a PEEKABOO. I wanted to do a whole milky nail, but once I saw this dip, I was like, oh my gosh, this dip's called Mama's Boy. It's from the Halloween collection, and I thought, you know what, I absolutely have to do a little bit of a PEEKABOO because this dip deserves to be popping out of the Milkbath nail. It felt right to do it, so I just went with it. Now let me get into my Halloween story. So if you know me, you know that Halloween, I love Halloween in that I love like the fun stuff of it, but I also am terrified of Halloween and have been since I was a child because I have been terrified of scary movies. Anything remotely scary has never been my jam, like none of it. I have never liked anything scary, and that's where the story's gonna come from. I just felt like it was really fitting for this mani. I don't know why. I think it'd be fun now to start telling everybody like a little bit more about me, and so you get to know me more. I've never liked anything scary. I was always afraid of everything. Like, my friends have pranked me over the years through elementary school. I remember my one friend, was it her mom or her brother? I can't remember, like stuck a hand in 8th grade. They stuck a hand on the couch, like a fake hand, and it scared the crap out of me when we were watching a scary movie, which I basically watch scary movies with my eyes closed, so I really don't watch them. Anyways, this story takes place in my senior year of high school, and my friends really wanted to go to one of those like really scary haunted hay rides and one of those haunted houses, which I was not down for, but I did not want to not go. I decided I was going to go with everybody, and that is where the funny stuff happens. Now, jumping back into the mani for a bit, after I applied my glitters all over my nail to the base where I want them to be, I applied the bats, and I applied the little spider and made like the spider kind of look like it had a web coming down with some of the glitters from the glitter dip. Then I took clear builder gel and soft white builder gel and mixed them together on a nail art palette so it could give me a milky white for the Milkbath nail part. If I would have just used the soft white, it would have been too dark. Like, it's a softer white. It's soft white, but it's not quite sheer enough for the look I was going for. So if you want to change up your builder gel color and make it a little bit lighter, just add some clear to it on nail art palette. And that is how I ended up doing the milky part of the mani. And on the bottom, to keep the glitter really showing for like the ombre peekaboo portion, I just did clear builder gel on the bottom. And when I did the top part with the white and clear mixture, I flash cure that for literally like 5 seconds so I could cure everything at the same time. And then I put the clear on the bottom, and then I kept flipping my nail over to make sure it was all blended, and the clear blended in beautifully with the mixture of the soft white and the clear to make that milky color. And then you can just go and file away. So I'm gonna do the same thing with my ring finger and finish the story. So back to the story, a bunch of us decided to go to this haunted house and haunted hayride. Well, the hayride I was terrified of, and I sat in the middle of the little like hayride, I don't know, the little wagon, and just closed my eyes the entire time because there were like people jumping up with chainsaws and like all kinds of stuff. And back then I really, really hated that. I've gotten a lot better. I mean, I'm not quite as scared of stuff, but I'm still pretty scared. And we went to go in the haunted house part, and that part I was really scared of because I couldn't sit in the middle of a wagon and like be surrounded by people closing my eyes. I knew I'd have to walk through, and there'd be like people jumping out and grabbing you, and I was right. So I was like screaming the entire time like I was, someone was trying to like murder me or something, which obviously they weren't. They're all pretending. And then we got to this little area that they brought you in, and it was this room, and like people kind of like popped out of the walls. I don't know, it was really weird because their outfits blended into the walls. 3 of my guy friends decided they were going to physically pick me up and hand me to the characters, the people who were working there, when they asked for volunteers. Well, I was screaming and like crying at this point because the guy dressed up as, I don't even remember what the character was that he was dressed up as, somebody terrifying, was dragging me back into this back room as I was screaming, no, I'm not gonna go. It was all part of this act, this show that they were doing. I did not want to be any part of it. So I was crying and screaming so bad that like they're not allowed to break character. The guy told me that he could have lost his job, but he broke his character and asked me if I was okay. And I was crying and crying. And I said, no, I'm not okay. None of this is okay. I don't want to be here. Take me back. And I just, if you know me, you know, like this is definitely something that I would do. I just panicked and flipped out. And this poor kid, I'm sure he was like a young, I don't know, he was probably in like high school or somebody in college who's home working on the weekends at this haunted house. And here I am like hysterically sobbing. And he ended up taking me back to my friend because I was just such a mess. But he wrote character and I wasn't supposed to say, and he told me he could lose his job for it. And I didn't even feel bad because I was so afraid of this whole thing. And basically now as an adult, like looking back at that, I mean, you know, I've had 3 kids. Like I'm afraid of a lot less things, but I still don't like to be scared. I was a little bit scared of Stranger Things and I refused to watch it for a while, but then once I got over my initial fear, I ended up loving it. So that's my goofy, funny, crazy Halloween story. And let me know in the comments what your funniest, craziest, silliest, whatever Halloween story is. Let me know a good Halloween story, a good haunted house story you have. Like, did you like trip and fall or like, you know, I don't know, something. Let me know in the comments. We're gonna jump back into the mani. And at this point, I've dipped all my colors, finished up with my milky part of the mani, and then I did this gorgeous glitter. Like this glitter is so stunning. It's like black and silver and reds, and I felt like it needed to be on its own for the other 3 nails, and I decided to encapsulate it with builder gel because the greatest thing about builder gel when you're encapsulating glitters is you can file and file and file and file over it. As long as you don't file through the builder gel, it encapsulates it perfectly, so you can get a great shape to it. And I didn't use any peel base in this mani because I knew I'd want to have it last for a while. I think I kept it on for like a little over a week. I want to say I loved it so much I couldn't bear to take it off. It worked out great that I just used the builder gel over it to encapsulate. And you can see me filing and filing here. I'm using the 100 side of a 180 grit file, and it still, if you have a really good clear, like the clear that I'm using is the OG Dip Powders clear builder gel, it is crystal clear. I filed and filed on that, and you'll see when I go to apply my gel base and gel top, it is crystal clear. This ended up being one of my favorite manis. It'll be really hard to top this for the rest of my Halloween manis because I just love this one so much. I still have a bunch more planned. Like that's the fun stuff I like about Halloween. Once you've finished encapsulating your nails with clear and you filed and buffed, then you want to go through and you want to wipe them off with some isopropyl alcohol. Then you can apply your gel base and your gel top. If you've enjoyed this mani and learning more about me, let me know that too in the comments. Finished product. This is seriously, I'm so obsessed with this. I want to do milky manis for everything. Thanks so much for joining me today, Dale Crow.